Here we fucking go.
You're gonna hear that at that gig you go to.
Oh, every Scottish gig you go to, they like. What do you get? You get here we fucking go, and then you also get one more tune. One more. I can't. What was the last? Was it The Darkness?
Why did you see The Darkness?
I went to see The Darkness live. It was a really good gig actually. I don't do live music, but I went to see The Darkness because the tickets were cheap, and we were like, I could really.
Is this a recent thing?
Pre-COVID.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we got there, and then. Like they wind down. They hadn't played I Believe in a Thing Called Love yet, and the whole crowd's like, one more tune, one more. Which like,
I love how every Scottish person to you is a character from Braveheart.
Yeah, that's what you all sound like to me.
Oh, wow.
You know how like Charlie Brown here's the teacher. You all sound like Braveheart.
We sound like Mel Gibson trying to do a Scottish accent.
But yeah, so they hadn't even done I Believe in a Thing Called Love yet, and then they start walking off the stage, and everyone's like, one more, woo! And then they come back out, and they're like, oh, we've got one more song to play. Oh, this is I Believe in a Thing Called Love. Anyway, they play the song Belter, and then they leave, and everyone's like, one more, and like. And then, like, the house lights come on, and everyone's still just like, one more, getting more and more aggravated. And I was like, guys, you've already got them to do the one more tune. You wasted it on when they were definitely going to play the one more tune. They hadn't played it. They were definitely going to, and we wasted one more tune. You can't now go for one more tune, because when does it end at that point? How many one more tunes can you keep forcing a band to play?
It just cuts to, like, a news reporter outside the Barrowlands being like, the gig has been going on for 3 days now because they keep saying one more tune. One more tune.
They refuse to let them leave.
More on this story at 10 o'clock.
More on this story at 10 o'clock. Now over to our correspondent reporter, Gary Copeland. Thanks, Gav. There were, in total, I think, by my looking, 9 American Pie movies in total. American Pie 1, American Pie 2, American Wedding, that's the one where he sprinkles pubes on the cake.
Yeah.
American Reunion. Mm-hmm. American Wedding was 2003, American Reunion was 2012. In between those, American Pie Presents Bandcamp, The Naked Mile, Beta House, The Book of Love, all came out, directed to DVD spin-offs. And then in 2020, American Pie, Girls Rule.
I didn't even know about the 2020 one. Was that a straight-to-streaming DVD?
Yeah, I assume so, because I've never heard of it either.
Should we watch?
It contained... Let's have a quick peek, sorry. The film serves as a standalone sequel revolving around Stifler's cousin, Stephanie.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that not the... Like obviously all these American Pie movies are very like male oriented. Is that one not the female one?
I think hence the subtitle,
name.
Girls Rules.
Thanks for that, Philip.
Yeah, thanks for that. The only person...
More on this story at 10 o'clock.
Of note I could name in the starring list on Wikipedia is Danny Trejo.
What?
Who apparently will be in anything if you
I was
pay him
literally
enough
about
money.
to say, that man, if you pay him in some like... breakfast tacos and like 20 quid, he'll show up and he'll do it.
Oh, you could have picked any other food, but you had to go for the racial profiling.
No.
Play the intro. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So won't you lend an ear? I'm taking us away. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Meandering Movie Podcast for another episode after the 3-month hiatus.
Oh, I forgot. It's been a bit. The last time we talked, you were beating up a child, and I was driving a truck.
And that was months ago.
And that was a long time.
We have straight up given up the pretense of recording batches and then releasing them on a bi-monthly. Oh, look, guys, we're still recording. No, we're recording when we fancy it. We're releasing when we fancy it. If you're a big fan, thanks for tuning in on these sporadic entries into your life. If not, hello, welcome to the first episode of the Meandering Movie Podcast.
If this is your first time here, it's usually like this.
What up?
It doesn't get any better.
We are the end of the month, January.
Yeah.
We've got a week to go. But we're going to be talking about the best and the worst, faves and non-faves, and everything in between from the year
of 2022.
Of
oh, of who?
Jesus.
No. I thought we were going to go for like, I don't know.
The year of our saint, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yes. She had a good run.
She did it.
She's having a good time.
A great run. Queen's Gambit just like propelled her into...
And then, yeah, because like last year was in The Northman and The Menu. She was in something. She was in Peaky Blinders season 6, which I think was last year.
When was the one where she in the Mirror Girl?
The what?
Last Night in Soho.
When was that?
That was
2021.
21. Yeah.
21. But she was in that. That was good.
So she's churning them out, and she's
And she's keeping up a good caliber. She's got a good history of work at the moment.
yeah. This is actually just going to be a whole episode about Anya Taylor-Joy.
But we are going to talk. Yeah, sorry, it's not. We're going to talk about our favorites and our least favorites and everything in between of the movies of 2022. So, I made my list up 2 minutes ago. Gav, you like a little good swatty nerdy boy.
One of us has to be
done your homework.
prepared.
Yeah, fucking whatever. Give us the first one.
The first movie that I would like to
Turning
talk
Red,
about.
Disney Pixar. I thought was no. I'm joking.
What?
You go? You go. I was just trying to cut across you. It was a bit. It was a funny bit as well. But you
I
ruined
feel
it by not laughing. You
like-
fucking pompous dick.
He is a pompous dick. Thanks for saying it. Wait,
No, I
me
was
or
talking
him?
about you.
I thought you were talking about
I was
Audio
looking
Boy.
at him for validation, but I was
Oh.
talking about you.
I'm not a pompous dick anymore. I'm pretty all right now. Leave a like in the description if you think I'm no.
You don't even know how social media works. Leave a like in the description.
You're the only one that can do anything with the description.
What are you talking about, you maniac?
Watch the description for this episode. Just be the word like. See, everyone likes me.
No one even reads those things, but the one person that does are going to be like, what the fuck are they doing?
I put.
You meandering movie boys, I know I'm in for a treat this week.
It's annoying because I put so much effort into those descriptions and no one reads it.
Nobody emails us. Nobody comments us. Nobody tweets us.
Meandering
We've been
Movie-
making a big effort this year.
The Twitter we've been good on. If like at Meandering Pod on Twitter, you know,
At Meandering Pod. Get in touch with us.
because Gary's, he's over there just putting up anything that comes to his mind, and some of it's not great.
What's not great? My
When you
tweets-
put up this sexy Velma picture,
that's not my fault. It's the only one that Google would give me.
Yeah,
and also, that's doing pretty well.
And
That's gonna, people are liking sexy Velma.
do you know what's annoying is I'll put up like a good film tweet. I'd be like, here's a thing about this film that's really interesting. No interaction. Gary puts up a picture of Velma who looks sexy. Tons of interaction. I hate you, internet.
Oh man,
Fuck off.
I know you got to play to your crowd. Am I right? Got to play to your crowd.
So the first thing we're going to talk about this episode is the HBO Max show Velma and why everyone loves it.
Everyone hates it.
I have watched it. I don't know what
I've watched
I
it.
don't know what all the. I just know that people don't like it.
No, but it's weird that everyone is coming out to be like, we all hate this. Every faction of the internet. You got the trolls, you got the lefties, you got the libs, you got the libtards. Like every faction of
Jesus.
the internet is coming out and arguing about how bad this show is.
Even the American Pie fans who like the really dog shit ones are like, oh, Audio Boy's gone. We've lost Audio Boy.
3 of those groups you mentioned are the same group of people, just from the perspective of other people.
But I watched it. I've watched the first 2 episodes at least anyway.
Is there only 2 episodes out?
No, there's
I've
4 now.
changed
They're
my-
releasing them so 30-minute episodes are releasing them 2 a week, and I watched the first 2 on the first week of them launching.
I've just realised I don't care to talk about it. So actually, what I want to talk about.
I'm going to just do this very quickly. I know nobody cares. I care a little bit.
cut it out.
It's fine. It's like it's not great. It's not maybe not even good, but the level of hate it's getting is absolutely not.
But isn't that the case for anything these days?
Yeah.
Like,
but it's weird. It's just it's vitriol across the board.
like if something is bad, then it's the worst thing ever made. Which, funny enough, we're going to talk about the best and the worst, and we're probably going to talk about it like it was the worst thing ever made.
It's almost like you're contributing to the problem.
But no, we're gonna. I'm
Yeah,
really
Gav.
talk. I want to talk about the positives because what I wanted to start off with was not Velma. That was a joke. Her heart. I made us all laugh. I want to talk about
You got me riled up.
what Rummy. What?
Riled.
What did
Are
you?
you okay?
s- No, I have
What the
not.
fuck's happening here? I didn't say rummy anything. I said I'm getting riled up.
I thought you said Rummy okay, and I was like, what's that mean?
No.
What's the thing? Ret? No, it's not Ret. Anyway, the thing I want to talk
What are you
about.
talking about?
My eyes are bleeding.
I'm falling apart. If we don't record enough, my brain just becomes mush of ideas. I want to talk about Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
Good film? Best film or the worst film of the year?
Neither. Just a good film. Just a good
So
film.
the title of this... sorry, guys. The title of this episode, Gavin, is Let's Talk About the Best and Worst of 2022.
Yeah.
And the first film that you want to talk about is Top Gun Maverick, which by your own remit, by your own words, is neither the best nor the worst.
Right, okay. Oh, Audio Boy's up. Out of his seat. Blankets off. He's leaving the room.
Can't be bothered with your bullshit.
Bye bye. How long did it take me? Like 10 minutes to get him to fuck off. Right. Top Gun Maverick. Is it the best film of 2022?
I didn't even see it.
No, did you watch? What do you mean?
Because it's like I was gonna go see it. I genuinely had every single intention of going to see that movie. Not because I was particularly interested. Like I mean, I watched Top Gun with my dad back in the day, and I remember it being fine.
Yeah.
And it's just a sequel to a movie that I kind of have middling response to anyway.
That's fair. Yeah.
But then it's like getting the whole like, look, it's one of the best action films of recent history, and it's well worth going to see it, especially in the cinema. And then it's just a culmination of life getting in the way, and I'm gutted because I genuinely wanted to see that in the IMAX big screen experience, and I just didn't.
Yeah, for me,
so take it away.
I loved the original Top Gun as a kid. I love the music. I love Tony Scott. Rest in peace. He was one of the greatest action directors of his time. And it's just good 80s action schlock, which is what I was born and bred on. You know, that's what I came up on.
Predator for Christmas.
Exactly, Predator for Christmas. I was going to go on a weird dark joke there. I'm so glad I didn't. But then when they came out, when they're like, "Oh, we're going to do Top Gun Maverick," and I was just like, "Really? Like,
yeah,
this is so not needed." And then I went to see the film. Only saw half of it the first time. If you listen to our cinema etiquette episode to find out why I only listened. But then I came back again to watch it, and I'm so glad I did to see that film in the cinema, because that is a film made to be seen in the cinema. Yes. Oh, Audio Boy has something
You
to
saw
say.
it twice.
I did see it twice.
Wow.
But I would say the latter half of that movie is some of the best on-screen action I have ever seen in a movie.
So, and because I haven't seen it, is the action all in planes?
Yes. Well, no, some of it isn't. There's a chunk at the end.
It just gives me I know I should have seen it, and I wish I had, because it gets a good write up. But it kind of just gives me the same vibe as the Fast and the Furious, where it's like,
no, I would say the difference is because they make such an effort to shoot as much of it in the planes as they actually can practically. Obviously, some of it is CGI based and some of it is manufactured.
Yeah.
But because they set that precedent, that when you get to that action,
precedent,
yeah. When you get to the president, when you get to the you walk up to Joe Biden, you're just like, Joe, see what they've done here with Top Gun Maverick. It's crazy.
Joe Biden, what did you think of Top Gun Maverick? Please tweet us at Meandering Pod, Joe Biden.
When you get to the final action stuff, and they've set that precedent that it's so much of it is practical and real and in plane, that then your brain starts to forget that some of this is obviously not real and not happening, and you're just sucked into it.
Yeah.
And it's the most thrilling, engaging, exciting. Like by the end of it, I started to well up because I was just like, I'm back in the cinema and I'm watching something that's truly for the cinema. And it was just beautiful. And the combination of like Tom Cruise at this point, take him as you will, I don't mind him, but he is outputting some of the best cinematic experiences of anyone out there because he's got full control.
Yeah.
The last Mission Impossible Fallout, I still say, is one of the best action movies of the last 2 decades. The next one that's coming out, him and Christopher McQuarrie back together again, it's going to be amazing. Same with Top Gun Maverick.
Wait, who's Chris McCoy?
He directed the last Mission Impossible movie.
Gotcha.
And he also directed, I think, the first Jack Ryan movie, not Jack Reacher movie, which people have slept on. Go back and watch the first Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise. That movie fucking slaps. Another great action movie. It's just great action movies that are made for the cinema. Whereas, like you say, Fast and Furious, for example, those movies, yes, they're big, dumb, and epic, but so much of it isn't real anymore. So much of it is a big CGI truck heading into 2 CGI cars while Dominic Toretto or Vin Diesel is just like drinking a milkshake on a blue screen. Like, it's none of it feels like it's for the cinema anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas Top Gun Maverick,
I'm giggling
did.
because I remember in Hobbs and Shaw? That's the sequence where they're like trying to break through the corridor at the same time. And one of them goes, he's a like sneaky ninja, and he's like knocking them all out one at a time, and then
Jason Statham
just cracks one guy and then rams his face into the door pad. Funny. But the funnier gag is the same gag is from Suicide Squad, where
which one?
The sequel,
the James Gunn one.
James Gunn one, where someone grabs Peter Capaldi's head, who's playing that mad scientist.
Yes.
And they need him to do an ocular read. They need him to do an ocular read, and they ram his face into it at such velocity and force that it would the machinery could never read his his eyes anyway. And he's like, Jesus fucking poof! They fucking do it again. And it just made me laugh because that was the best bit of the entire Suicide Squad film.
I thought you were going to say that was the best part of the year. My entire life, that was the best part.
I'll be honest, that has elicited the biggest laugh out of me in the cinema in years. That one bit from Suicide Squad. It's just so unnecessarily... One, it's unnecessarily violent, which is fucking hilarious. Two, Peter Capaldi delivers the absolute fucking best... all right, mate.
Fucking yes.
Jesus fucking Christ, I think he says. Oh, it's good. Anyway, Top Gun Maverick is neither the best nor worst movie that Gav saw last year, but for some reason he decided to start the episode off with it.
I have been waiting to talk about Top Gun Maverick. If you have not seen Top Gun Maverick...
I have no problem with you talking about this film. I just don't understand why it was the first film you thought you'd bring up.
Fine, it's one of the... How about this? It's the best action movie of last year because something I'm about to say... I'll say...
Commit. I'll let you... You've committed.
I'm going to let you have a turn, obviously, but the thing
That's fine, I'll talk.
I'll get there at some point, is when it comes to action movies last year, a whole lot of dog shit. Action movies are dog shit now, and I'm glad Tom Cruise is out there still trying to make proper in-camera action movies. I'm looking at you, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, because you're outputting some real fucking garbage these days.
He's only gone down since Skyscraper.
And
old Dwayne.
Fucking Red Notice was the dearth of his...
The dearth. All right, am I going with...
My favourite part of Top Gun Maverick is where there's an emotional moment between Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer. And then the screen freezes, and then your flatmate gets so mad he leaves, and then you don't see the movie again for 4 days. Definitely the best part of the movie.
I'm glad we did it though, because when I went back and saw it in super screen, it was a magical experience. It was magical.
I've never seen you that mad.
It was... Oh god, go back and listen to the cinema etiquette episode, and you'll find out why.
Leave a link for it in the description under the word like. What am I doing? Am I doing my absolute favorite, or am I doing...
You can do either absolute
Or are
favorite...
we saving absolute favorites
Save that for the end?
for the last one?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then you just talk about something that, like a good movie experience or a bad movie experience that stood out to you in 2022.
I feel like we should just do a whack of garbage films. We should, because I don't want to linger on too many.
I can list off like
No, so can
70.
I. But I'm just meaning, like, I don't want to like focus too much on the crap, because it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll fire through some shit.
Can we
in a one?
Can we both have an agreement? Because we've talked about this off mic, and this will probably make some of our audience happy. We're not talking Marvel anymore. Yeah. And we're not talking
Not
about
for a while at least.
And the Marvel movies that came out last year, all of them were rubbish. We're not talking about them.
Mediocre to garbage anyway.
One of them you didn't even see because you just don't care anymore, which was Black Panther.
It's not that I don't care. Again, life got in the way. And
But we are...
My spark is
So
off.
no Marvel movies will be talked about in this episode.
So, yeah, I mean, like, let's go Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Okay, yeah.
The Nicolas Cage,
Pedro Pascal.
I was going to say like biographical, but it's absolutely not. It's fantasy, but it's presented to you as a biographical telling of Nick Cage's wanting to get back and be a more serious actor and taken more seriously.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was fucking brilliant. It's a love letter to Nicolas Cage. That film is littered
Nicolas
with...
Cage.
Nicolas. Lick the Nick.
Oh, God.
It's littered with Nicolas Cage kind of throwbacks and references. And I remember sitting and watching that with our friend of the podcast, Caboose. And there were bits of the movie where I was like, that's good. And he was like, what's funny? And I was like, oh, that's from, I don't know, like
Such
National
movie.
Treasure
Yeah,
or fucking
Face Off, whatever,
Face Off
yeah.
or Con Air. And it was just so nice. It was so nice watching Nicolas Cage get to, I think, potentially for the first time in his life, and that's a pretty
Bold statement.
but for the first time in his life, really stretch out his acting chops. Like, really get to kind of like expand and feel himself in a way that isn't like, I know this movie is garbage, so I'm just going to chew up the scenery. And also, on the flip side of that, I know this movie's great, so I'm going to give it 110%, which I think is where Nicolas Cage is kind of like, I think that's his problem. This whole is he a bad actor in good films or is he a good actor in bad films debate. The problem is Nicolas Cage just gives 110% in every performance. And
Yes.
the problem is you don't do that. That's like I know somewhere in some self-help book it was probably like you want to be the best actor in the world, you got to give 110% to every performance. Just don't, man. Rein it back in for a few of them because you seem like a maniac, Nick.
Yeah, because there's the scene in that movie where he's talking to his younger self.
He's talking to himself, yeah.
And his younger self just does the whole
his younger self was doing the insane Nicolas Cage.
whoa, screaming, just like slapping, whoa, just like going off.
Kisses himself.
Yes.
Nicolas! Motherfucking Cage!
That stuff.
Incredible.
But
Incredible.
because, for example, last year I watched not a movie that came out in 2022, and probably for the best, was Vampire's Kiss with Nicolas Cage, where thinks he's turning into a vampire, but you don't know if he's turning. And he goes.
That didn't come out in 2022.
No, but I'm just
Did
giving.
you say that?
No, I said it didn't.
He didn't. Yeah, sorry.
I
thought.
So you didn't.
I was like, wait, what?
I just look, but it's an example of like that's because so many memes come from that movie now. That's Nicolas Cage going full Nicolas Cage, and you think if a different actor was in this movie,
Or if he just reined it in a bit.
But the question, because like Vampire's Kiss is so like unforgettable now that it's like if it wasn't him in it, would it be memorable or good?
Yeah, actually,
or is it him doing what he's doing, making this movie more than it is?
Yeah.
Because like if you look at National Treasure, for example, which Audio Boy and I watched both of them last year, because we have great lives.
First one's fine. I like the first one.
I like the first one, but
I have no memories of the I've seen the second one, zero
but
memories
he's
of it.
very like that's tempered Nicolas Cage. He's very like straight line down.
That's
like,
very much a studio told him you can do National Treasure. Fucking reeling in.
you're not going to feel Nick.
You calm down though, boyo. Do you know what? You know why? You don't know why Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage? You know why he ended up in the situation he ended up in?
No. Oh, was it?
Started off an actor, did pretty well. Got into a few kind of fairly sizable things, doing the Nick Cage thing, like, and he was kind of getting up the ranks, up the echelons, and then just
The echelons.
the echelons of
The echelons.
Hollywood. Echelons?
Echelons.
No, it's echelons.
It's echelons. You want to come at me
No.
for president? I'll come at you for
No.
echelons.
It is echelon.
It's echelons. ECH, echelon.
ECHO, echo.
No, it's ECHE, I think.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
He was just saying the word echo.
It's an echo. ECH. Ek.
Echelon.
If it's the beginning of a word. Fuck, I don't want a bike. I want you to pronounce it for me.
I don't want a bike.
It's called, split the difference and
No,
call
no.
it echelon.
I think I'll eat my hat. Echelon. Apologies, I was wrong.
There we go.
That's when you read. I read a lot, and when you read a word, and then you have to make up your own pronunciation.
It's
That's
like
what you get.
characters' names when you read a book,
Yeah.
and then you hear it in a movie or a TV show, and you're like, huh,
Wrong.
wow.
Yeah, he was working his way up the echelons in Hollywood, and
Echelons.
he basically he just ended up in massive debt because of huge amounts of cocaine and huge amounts of alcohol and huge amounts
Yeah,
of living like a fucking rock star, and eventually reached a point where he was like, I love acting. I don't want to leave the world, but I have
No money.
like no money, full houses, a huge fucking like whack of debt to my dealer. I need money. And then it just became like, hey, Nick Cage, do you want to be in our movie? How much? 500,000? Done. I think Nicolas Cage basically came out at some point in Hollywood and said, if you pay me
X amount.
whatever this amount of money is, I don't know what not 500 is probably lowballing it. But if you just had that money, he would sign on and do your film.
Because did he not have
As the story goes, I'll put that just in case I'm horrifically wrong.
Because the two things that I'd heard was one that he'd bought like a pyramid.
This man's alive, and I feel like he's a myth.
He bought a pyramid sarcophagus in New Orleans for his body to be buried in, and it was massive and made out of marble. But he then had to go off and sell it because he's. And the other one was he bought so much vintage wine that it bankrupted him, and then he had to sell off all of his vintage wine.
Fuck's sake. But outside all of that, watching him in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent was fucking great. And I genuinely think it gave him the outlet to let him like I said, do both bits. He got to let him really chew up the scenery and for a story purpose as well, which was nice, as well as give this like genuinely solid, heartfelt, strong action buddy
adventure movie.
It
It definitely feels like parts of it are taken from his life, and other parts of it are obviously dramatized for movie purposes, like the big shootout chase scene at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
I doubt Nicolas Cage did that in South America, but if he did, I'm happy to believe that.
We will retract our statement if incorrect about Nicolas Cage's life.
And it also has Hollywood's new golden boy, Pedro Pascal, who's just great in everything. And like he's in that movie,
as his parents called him, Pedrion Pascalion.
Pedrion Pascalion, which my favourite Italian dish. But yeah, the movie.
Sorry, I just want everyone to know that the amount of faces old audio boy makes during the fucking recordings that we do, that none of you know. He just sits there giving us fucking side eyes,
scoffing at us,
and scoffing and making faces like we're a couple of old dickheads.
That's why I now.
You coward! Say it in the microphone.
Yeah. That's why I now edit for when Audio Boy says things wrong, I can keep it in. Because when Audio Boy used to edit, all of that would disappear and he would always be right and smart. When in reality, he's the wrong one. He's in the wrong.
Just like us. Because we're not like we're above that.
No, God, no.
So yeah, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Great film. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought it was a stonker.
It was a good fun film.
Stonker. That's the rating I'm giving it.
A stonker.
One stonker.
One big stonker.
Yeah.
Next movie I want to talk about is technically a trilogy of movies, but only one of them was released in 2022.
Oh.
But I need to talk about these three films because they're fascinating. And that is the recent Halloween trilogy of films, because Halloween Ends came out last year.
Yeah.
Doubt it's going to be the end. But
It's the second Halloween Ends.
What?
Isn't it? Do they not have another film called Halloween Ends back in the 80s or something nonsense like that?
No.
The Halloween naming convention. The Halloween naming of those films.
They had H2O.
Terrible. Which had nothing to do with water, right?
No, it was just the 20th anniversary of Halloween.
But just don't call it H2O then.
I think they call
if you're calling it a H2O, put it on a boat or put it at a fucking lake, at a lakeside at the very fucking least. Don't call it H2O and then have nothing to do with
They
water.
should have done the
movie.
Titanic, but it's Mike Myers instead of an iceberg.
Yes.
It should have been a 20th anniversary of the release of the movie Halloween, and then someone turns up as a Mike Myers copycat and kills everyone.
Call it
And you get meta about it.
H space 20. There you go. I've just fucking solved your problem. Don't call it H2O.
Is it H2O that's got the rapper in it? That's the best I have. That's all I've got.
What do we got? Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Halloween 4, The Return of Mike Myers, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Mike Myers.
Oh.
Not bad. Halloween, The Curse of Mike Myers.
That
They've dropped the numbering.
The Curse of Mike Myers might be the worst of them all.
No, yeah, all right, sorry. I was wrong about the Halloween. Oh my Christ. They have 3 films called Halloween.
Yeah, because you've got the Rob Zombie one, you've got the original one, and you've got the one that came out in like 2017.
That's the most batshit naming convention I've ever seen.
Yeah, because at
You
least
start off with Halloween, like II, like Roman numerals. Then Halloween 3 Roman numerals. Then you just switch to the
IV.
Then you switch to fucking regular numbers.
Okay.
Halloween 4, 5. Then you fuck off the numbers. Halloween, The Curse of Michael. Then Halloween H2O, 20 years later, nothing to do with water. Halloween Resurrection. And then it's like, cool, draw a line. Happy? Yeah, that's madness. Start again. What do you mean start again? Halloween.
Yep.
Next one's called Halloween. All right, what about after that? So it's separate from the other ones. Halloween 2, Roman numerals again. But we had them. Do it again. Don't give a fuck. All right. You want to make another one? Yeah. What do you want to call it?
Halloween.
This is the 3rd time we have a Halloween. Yeah. Halloween.
It's like the Predator movies where you've got Predator, Predators, The Predator, and The Predators.
But that's crazy. But at least it's kind of like they fucked off the numbers early. Like they didn't bother with
like
that.
Aliens.
Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends are the last 2. Scream's pretty good. Scream's just like Scream
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Because Scream 6 is coming out this year. And Scream 5 came out last year.
Which horror... What's the names of some other ones? Horror
You got
series
the
that has
Friday
the
the
worst
13th
naming convention.
The Friday the 13th ones are all over the fucking gaff.
Are they? They're all Friday the 13th, though, right?
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Wait. I want to have a little peek. Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, part 2. So, as in, it's a sequel, but they've named it like it's the second half of the first one. Then they've gone straight to Friday the 13th, part Roman numerals 3. Then the final chapter. These all begin Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, New Beginning. Friday the 13th, part 6. Back to Roman numerals. Just pick a fucking...
Pick a lane.
Just pick a lane. If you're doing numbers, do numbers. If you're doing Roman numerals, do Roman numerals. 6, Jason Lives. 7, Roman numerals, The New Blood. 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. And then I guess...
A Partridge in a Pear Tree.
And then I guess you've got like, what, 3...
There's also
No, then Jason X.
Jason X, yeah.
Then Freddy versus Jason, Friday the 13th. Back to the beginning.
And then there's apparently a new one coming out either this year or next year.
Nightmare on Elm Street. What's that naming convention? Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. This will be a good one. I reckon this one's going to make sense. Nightmare on Elm Street.
I don't think it is.
3, 4, 5. This is good. Final Nightmare. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's perfect. This one's the best one so far. Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all have like a subheading. Then you get Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare, which is, I guess, the end of the original series, followed by Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which was a soft reboot.
Yeah.
Freddy vs. Jason, standalone movie. And Nightmare on Elm Street, the reboot. Hard reboot.
God, that reboot was bad.
I mean, it was terrible, but at least the naming works. I'm happy with that one.
So that's the one you're giving the...
I'm giving that one the highest ranking so far.
It's mental how many movies you just talked about that aren't released in 2022.
What about the Evil Dead?
Oh, we're still going. Okay.
Well, I'm just curious. I just feel like horror, you should pick a lane if you're a horror film, you know?
I feel like you got Evil Dead 2, and then it goes...
The Evil Dead. Oh, God, no, this is bad. The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2, Roman numerals. Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
No Evil Dead in that.
Nope.
Just
a whole...
nothing denoting that it's even
completely
tied
different movie.
to the fucking... Then Evil Dead Rise. Okay, so it's not as bad, but it's still not, like... Why have you dropped the? Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I think those are all just called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The amount of times
how many Texas Chainsaw Massacres are in the Texas?
The amount of times they've
Massacre?
rebooted it and it's just Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, wait. Franchise. Let's check it out. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Leatherface. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre Roman numerals 3. That fucks me off. That's a point down.
Keep doing it.
Then we're getting rid of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Next Generation. Then we're back. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I bet Texas Chainsaw Massacre Deep Space Nine.
Yes.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's a Star Trek joke.
The Beginning. Texas Chainsaw 3D. Leatherface. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Fuck me. Oh. Anyway. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out in 2022. So bringing us back full circle. I'm back in the room.
So the Halloween trilogy.
Badly named, but go on.
The first one, the one
This is the last of the trilogy.
So this is the last of this trilogy, but they're already in talks of starting it again. And Jamie Lee Curtis will 100% be back in them, even though she said this will be the fourth time that she's like, I'm done, I'm not coming back. And then a studio comes along, and it's just like, do you like money? And she goes, yes. And then they go, would you like to do another Halloween movie? And she goes, why not?
Okay.
I'll fucking punt another one of these out.
Just crap one out.
This trilogy that they did for the recent Halloweens went from, oh, that one could have been all right, but was a bit disappointing. Then the second one, Halloween Kills, was one of the dumbest, worst things ever made. It's so, but like if you want to have your mind melted with dumbness, watch Halloween Kills. Mm-hmm. Then last year, 2022, they did Halloween Ends. Mm-hmm. Don't put ends in there because we know this isn't the end.
Yeah, if you are after my horror naming convention, if you are going to make a horror film series and you name any of them the end or the final chapter or the final nightmare or final whatever, you just make it the final. Like you shouldn't be able to then, unless it's a hard reboot, and I don't want no soft reboot. Oh, it's actually a secret sequel. No, fuck off. You've killed that chapter. You have finished it. The next time you bring that character back from the dead, it's a brand new cast.
Also, stop doing we're ignoring these 3 films. This is a sequel to the one you all liked.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Because that's what this trilogy was. It was a sequel to the first one. Like the original John Carpenter one.
So it's not actually a trilogy. It's technically a quadrilogy.
Yeah.
So Halloween,
And then
straight to
Halloween.
2017.
Halloween.
So Halloween followed by Halloween.
Yep, then Halloween.
It's worse than I thought. You didn't tell me that when I was reading them out.
Halloween kills, Halloween ends. That's what that quadrilogy is. And Halloween ends is fucking mental. Like,
you can't name 2 films in your series
they
the
did
same
it.
thing.
They did it.
Jesus.
I can't remember if they counted.
That goes straight from that alone. That goes straight to the bottom. That's now the absolute worst.
I can't remember if they counted Halloween 2 as well. I don't think they counted Halloween 2. I think they preferred.
Even if they did, it's still Halloween 2, Halloween. That's maybe it's worse that way, to be honest.
Because I think at the end of Halloween 2, they're like, oh, Mike Myers died. And then in Halloween 4, they're just like, psych. No, he didn't.
Psych.
Whereas in Halloween, they're just like, oh, we just caught him and we just put him in a mental hospital.
I sorted out my surround sound yesterday.
What does that have to do with what I'm talking about?
Well, you'll see.
Oh, God. I don't think I will.
Anger in your face. And that, what on earth does that? I thought out my
We've
surround
talked about
sound.
more films not released in 2022 than we have released.
Well, I'm about to talk about another one.
Oh, God.
I sorted out my surround sound the other day.
That'll be
'cause
fucking
the
croods too.
back speakers weren't working. I don't know why, but I fucked around with the settings and I've got them working. I don't even know what I changed. Anyway, they're working. The way I checked it was I put on Baby Driver, and Hannah's never seen it, so I put it on just for the intro. What's the song at the beginning? The Belafontes.
Bell bottoms.
Bell bottom blues. Bell bottoms? I don't know. Bell bottoms.
Yeah.
Bell bottoms.
John
Anyway,
Spencer.
it's good. Put it on. Just wanted to watch that opening sequence because I knew it's made for surround sound, especially because that whole film's pretty much like audio design. And then Hannah was like, "Oh, we should like. I'm hooked. I've never seen this film." And I was like, "What? You never seen Baby Driver?" So we watched Baby Driver the other day. And how this ties into what you were talking about is the second heist that you see when they're like, you're gonna go get us 4 Mike Myers masks,
Okay.
and then they pulls them out, and it's Mike Myers from it's Austin Powers masks, as in what's his face, Austin, yeah, Mike Myers. Oh my god, Mike Myers is Austin Powers mask, and he's like, what the fuck? I said Mike Myers, and he's like, yeah, that's what these is. He's like, no, Mike Myers Halloween mask. Like, they are Halloween masks. But then that's like a whole. You know why that happened?
Why?
It's kind of exactly what happens in the film, that somebody went out to get the license for Halloween.
I know.
The William Shatner. And they were like, no, absolutely not. So then they went to Mike Myers and were like, hey, do you mind if we use your Austin Powers mask? And he was like, yeah, that's fucking hilarious. My turn.
I was also going to say, no. Just Halloween Ends is fucking batshit mental. It's weird. It tries to create a whole new Mike Myers, and Mike Myers wants to like pass on his powers to a kid, and the kid
What are his powers in these films?
He's invulnerable.
That's it.
Because thinking about
He's trying to make a Mike Myers-cosm of new movies.
I want to end this podcast forever.
Laugh into
I like
the
that.
mic, Phil.
I like that.
At
That's
least
good.
let people know that there was a good, bad pun. But
What do you just?
would you want a good or a bad?
What
Are we
was,
saving the bads?
give me a bad because you did a good.
Moonfall.
Yes.
Moonfall. Woo! Straight up. I know Morbius came out last year, and that's also on my list.
Oh, we'll get to that.
We will get to that, but Moonfall straight up is the worst movie I saw all last year.
Is it?
That
Interesting.
film sucked. It didn't pick a lane. Had no idea where it wanted to go. Very
To the moon.
to the moon. Very early on, they have a scene where the moon is rising over her in a horizon.
Why is he the funniest one out of the three of us?
The moon's rising over her over the horizon, and you know, like in a horror film, when like that 2 people are talking and the camera punches into the background and Mike Myers is standing there, and it goes like, "Do-do-do-do-do-do-do."
Yeah.
So the moon's rising, and then the score
Is
goes,
that the Halloween theme? I've never heard it like
it's
that
not the
before.
Halloween
"Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do." Like, here comes the villain, and I was like, what the actual fuck is this? It's just terrible. It doesn't know what it wants to be. It's trying to be this action sci-fi movie that gets lost and caught up in this weird hero story, and then there are aliens, and then the moon's a superstructure, and there are aliens that live inside the moon that are hiding from a different breed of evil aliens that are coming to kill the Earth, but the aliens in the moon don't want to kill the Earth. They want to integrate the Earth into the moon.
Well, the aliens in the moon are humans.
Are they?
I think.
I think it's like
they've been absorbed by the hive mind in the moon.
I think it's like a
Yeah, see, this is what Phil, this is what I'm talking about. That film doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just
because
batshit
humans
mental.
developed the AI from in a different galaxy or whatever.
No,
and then
when he speaks to his mum, an actual thing that happens in the movie. The main character's mum is dead. Or not even the main character. He's a fucking side character. He's the comic relief who ends up being the main character. Oh,
yeah.
the guy who plays Samuel Tarly in
from
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. When he speaks to his mother inside the moon at the end of the movie, they are using his mother's likeness because they knew it would be kind of like AI, like they knew it wouldn't be daunting to him. But it's just like it's just a production of his mother to get him to get absorbed into the moon, to give the moon his knowledge so they can then fight off the darkness aliens.
You're conflating two separate scenes in the movie because there's a scene where Patrick Wilson speaks to the AI as well.
Oh, I don't fucking know. Phil,
I've
I
seen
watched
that movie
it once
twice.
and it was fucking terrible
Yeah.
and it's a bad movie. The fact we're having this discussion that makes no fucking sense proves how fucking bad this film is.
Here's the main thing that
Bad
about
movie.
with Moonfall is there was a producer out there who was like, do you know what? In the 90s, I liked those world-ending
Armageddon's
movies.
Deep
who,
Impact.
Who was the guy that did like a bunch of those? Oh, Roland Emmerich's like, what's he up to? Absolutely nothing. I can assure you it's nothing. Cool, get him on the phone. Hey, Roland, do you want to do one of those like disaster movies you used to do in like the late 90s, early
What's
2000s?
the most disastrous
He's
thing
like-
that could happen to the planet? Oh, I don't know. What? I'm thinking the moon falls on it.
They're like, love it,
moon-
great.
the moon falls on
Get
the
it right. Get it written. Who should we start it? Oh, we'll get Patrick Wilson from the Conjuring movies.
Do you
We'll
remember
get
Patrick
Halle
Wilson?
Berry because she's doing fuck all, and then we'll get that random guy from Game of Thrones. Then we'll punt them all into the moon. We'll have a weird like chase scene with a cybernetic looking monster thing, and then Samuel Tarly will become the moon. Anyway, thanks, Roland. Here's
Wait, you are missing a very key element to the entire film.
Yes.
At the halfway point, they introduce two teenage characters that end up being the
Patrick
new
Wilson's son.
They're actually the protagonists of the whole movie. Bet you thought it was Patrick Wilson and Halle Berry. No, it's their children. Do you care about them? No. Well, you're going to see a fucking shit ton of them for the remainder of this
And
movie.
they're going to have like a Last of Us type experience where they're trying to steal petrol and there's thugs and they have a car chase and it's just awful looking.
Pick
and
a lane.
And someone gave Roland Emmerich money for this. Stop doing that. If it makes you happy, it was a massive box office flop.
Yeah, thank God.
So
Helped by me, apparently, because I'm going to fucking see it. Caboose was really excited for it. Hey, friend of the podcast, Caboose. Sometimes your taste sucks balls. There's your shout out, mate.
Jesus Christ.
You want to do another one?
Yes, continuing my point that
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022.
yeah,
Are you actually talking about that?
No. About action movies sucking. I'm just going to lump these ones together. It's going to be the Uncharted movie. A rubbish action movie.
Yeah.
Really, really boring. The final set piece is kind of fun, but apart from that, rubbish. You have the...
Falls into the trap of becomes so bland and generic that like when those things kind of work as a video game because you have the engaging video game playing sections,
Yeah.
that the story doesn't need to be the strongest.
Yes.
But then when you take the beat for beat story, add in some extra bollocks that nobody gives a fuck, and then release
Oh
it as
no,
a movie.
this person's betrayed them. Didn't even know they were in the movie.
Who cares? When you turn that into a film, you're left with like, oh, actually, this story's not that engaging. I guess I just enjoyed shooting people and jumping over fucking...
Yeah, it's a perfect
Aztec
breakdown where it's
ruins.
like, because the movie takes certain set pieces from some of the most famous set pieces from some of the games, one of them being when you fall out the back of the plane in Uncharted 3. In
you're, like,
Uncharted
climbing
3,
up the cargo.
you're playing the game for like 16 hours, and at that point, the game doesn't need, like you said, doesn't need the story at that point, because you're just like, fuck, I only have 6 bullets left, I'm on the hardest difficulty, and I really need to get back up there so I don't die.
Yeah.
In the movie, it's just like, this is 50 minutes into the movie, you are so incredibly bored. Mark Wahlberg is the most uncharmingest human being on the planet, and Tom Holland at that point is tired because he's done 6 movies back to back, and so everyone's bored.
What was the other one? Uncharted. You said there was You were going to give me a smattering of bad action.
Yeah, you have the Uncharted movie, you have Jurassic World Dominion, which we've already spoken about before.
Holy moly.
It's just perhaps one of the worst movies
Remember
last year.
how mad I was?
Yes, I remember. You can go back and listen to that
If you want to
episode.
hear me be very angry about Jurassic World, you can go back and listen to that episode.
You have the Netflix movie The Grey Man with Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling. You have incredible actors. You have what was promised to be two of the most exciting directors after their stint with Community and the Marvel movies punt out, and Patrick H. Williams was on YouTube, has talked about this. You check out his video. It's one of the most blandest action movies. Like, it looks bland, the set pieces are bland, there's some really dodgy CGI, and when you put it up against something like Top Gun Maverick, you're just like, what is this? After that, you got Bullet Train, again, another really... I know you want to defend Bullet Train. Bullet Train for me was a fucking tedious slog of like annoying characters, endless dialogue that wouldn't stop. It was just endless talking, and talking and talking.
He's such a diesel, isn't he?
He is a
And
diesel,
apparently I'm a
mate.
diesel, and we're going to run that joke into the fucking ground.
I
like
will
a
give you
train
that.
out
I
of a
will
bridge.
give you that. That Thomas the Tank Engine
Oh
bit
my
was so fucking
God.
annoying. It just did go on too long. Who did I... We were talking about that, and I was like, he should have done this instead. What was it? Was it us?
I don't know. Maybe it was Caboose.
Might be Caboose.
Another shout out for Caboose.
I was having a conversation with someone where I said it's actually the worst. Like, they picked the worst British thing they could have done, and I said they should have done this. Oh, fuck, what was it? I actually can't remember. It's going to annoy me.
It's
now.
going
I'm
to come
so
back
sorry.
to you in like 20 minutes.
But yeah, I was like, they should have done that instead because anyway. But
For me,
in his defense,
okay.
I didn't mind Bullet Train. I didn't love it. It's not like I've seeked it out to add it to my collection. I'm going to rewatch it. I've no interest in going back. You know what I mean? Like, I've got no interest in making a big effort to go and get it. If it's on Netflix in another 2 years, I'll probably whack it on again because I think it falls into the Fast and Furious dumb. And I personally think, although the diesel Thomas the Tank Engine bit was annoying, I liked how stylishly ambitious it was.
Sure.
It tried to look unique.
Definitely,
and for the most
yeah.
part, I think it pulls that off.
I had I liked the editing, and I liked how
they
it
had
looked,
some slick edits.
but all the characters are so annoying, and they all talk too much.
I don't think they all are. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson and his brother, what's his brother's
From
name?
Atlanta.
Brian Tyree Henry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Brian Tyree Henry. I think they were good. I agree.
Too much.
They talk a bit, but it's like annoying. It's more Brian Tyree Henry that I think. Like, I like
Also,
their
that kind
dynamic.
of British accent he does. All right, then, me governor. I'm from the Londons. He's just like, no.
Brad Pitt, I didn't mind. I think Brad Pitt's watchable in pretty much everything he pumps out.
but
he's fine.
He's just kind of like, he
Who
shows
else
up.
is in that?
Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz was underutilized.
Surprisingly underutilized.
But on the flip side of that, her character was my least favorite, but only because they were like, oh, you know what would be good? Make her say bitch at the end of every single sentence.
Yeah.
And it's like,
see, that's the thing. Like,
but why?
Just
That's not a character
the
trait.
writing of them was so.
That was, yeah.
and the little girl with the
Joey
fuck.
King.
Yeah, holy shit.
so annoying.
Write her out. Everything else about that film I'll defend. That character can go in the bin.
And Michael Shannon shows up, and he looks like he just got off of like he just came out of a coma and walked onto set. Like he was on life support, and then he woke him up and he went in to film the movie.
Yeah, fair play on that
Like
one.
for me, Bullet Train, the way you do that movie perfectly is it's 90 minutes. There's the limitation of we have and for the train to get from here to here, and this is the MacGuffin. Go. Whereas instead that movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's too much talking. There's not enough action, and it's a lot of.
It's not Guy Ritchie, is it?
No, it's it's Chad Stahelski who
It
did.
reeks of Guy Ritchie,
The guy
though.
did Deadpool 2.
Do you not think it like stinks of Guy Ritchie?
It does.
Like, do you not think that film is theoretically and what it should have been? I think what it was trying to emulate is Snatch on a train.
Yeah, with all the cutaways to like things that
They
happened
should have
before.
called it as well.
Snatch on a train.
Snatch on a train.
Yeah,
But
but like,
it's-
that feels like that's pretty much.
It was just for an action movie. It was too long, not enough action, and too much talking.
I think, but then like
And the action wasn't.
Snatch does well. Snatch is a great movie.
But that's because it's so well written, and you like.
But that's what I was going to say. I think if Bullet Train just had a slightly better writing,
Yeah.
I think it could have been a modern day Snatch.
And
But
then,
this is what I'm saying. I'm not defending it to the moon.
Yeah.
And back. I don't think it's the best film ever. I think it's better than you're giving it credit for.
what that movie is because I said it when I came out of it.
Uh-huh.
This is you dump this on streaming movie. It's not a dump in the cinema movie. Like if that came to Netflix or Prime and I put it on one afternoon, I'd have been fine with it. But they put it at the cinema to be like, it's Bullet Train. You're like,
You know what you are?
what?
The death of cinema, mate.
Well,
not everything can go straight to streaming.
Do you know what,
Gavin?
Do you know what's the death of cinema? Cinema, because it's killing itself. The next movie I want to talk about in this action schlock that we got was Ambulance, the Michael Bay movie.
Oh yeah, I didn't see this one. This one was
horrendous.
Jake Gyllenhaal. What I know of it, Jake Gyllenhaal, ambulance driver.
Incorrect so far.
Okay. I thought from the trailers that I saw, it then turns into like a phone booth type deal where
it does turn into phone booth.
He gets caught down and then he can't do something and then he's got somebody trying to shoot him.
He and his brother, his brother's former military. He can't get the money for his wife to get surgery because the military pension doesn't pay for it. Walks over to his brother Jake Gyllenhaal, who just so happens to be doing a bank heist. He's like, come along, we'll do the bank heist. He's like, okay. So in the first 20 minutes of the movie, again, you can watch the Patrick H. Williams video where he talks about Ambulance, because I'm taking some of this from what he said. It's just like in 20 minutes, it goes from, I need money for my wife and kid to, I'm on a bank heist with a big gun. And then bank heist goes...
massive leap.
It goes awry. They end up in the back of an ambulance. And then they drive around the ambulance trying to escape the cops for the next 2 hours. And it's...
Where's the phone booth element come in?
They're just in the ambulance the rest of the movie.
Oh, it's like a single
kind of all
like
their
source code.
Sure, yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal's in that as well.
Correct, but someone showed
in source code he's missing. Remember the big reveal? He's missing his bottom half.
Yeah,
Avatar 3.
I didn't see Avatar 2.
Give him an Avatar. Huh?
Someone gave Michael Bay a drone for this movie, and in the beginning, he does some really interesting drone stuff. It's those little drones where they put the visor over their face and they can drive.
Yeah.
It's that stuff, but with a camera on it. And you're like, this looks cool.
Yeah.
For the first, again, 30 minutes, and then see all the cool shots that he's done. He then just recycles them for the rest of the 2 hours of the movie, and you see the same drone shots 40 times to the point where you're just like, I'm sick of the drone now. You've made me excited and then fed up with the drone in the span of one movie. And the Grey Man did it as well, where they did these really shite drone shots. They did it, I think, some for Uncharted movie as well. They did some drone stuff. I like the drone stuff. Come up with some better ideas. Mm-hmm. There was I'm going to use the word again, a dearth of action last year. Absolute trash when it came to action last year.
And what's funny?
And I'm going to wave my pen furiously
I know
in the
I
air.
just said, films have to come to the cinema to keep the cinema alive. But I do feel like, I'm kind of going back on what I said here. I do think you're right in that a lot of films that should have just been straight to video released in the cinema. But I think it's because of the COVID lull. So they're trying to make up for lost time. And they're just kind of like, big screen release for Moonfall? I guess.
Should have gone to Netflix.
3 that I enjoyed that I wanted to talk about. Starting off kids films. We'll just do some kids films.
Yeah.
Turning Red, Chippendale.
Didn't see either.
Did you not see either of them?
No.
Turning Red's brilliant. It's
Audio Boy.
If you haven't seen it,
no.
Turning Red is the coming of age story. 14-year-old girl in Canada in the 2000s trying to get tickets for,
Limp Bizkit.
Well, like some generic boy band. I
Korn.
think what are they called? They're called Boys 4 or something. Like
Boys.
It's very of its time, and it
Boys
works.
for Us.
It's something. It's nuts. And then she finds out that when she starts her period, she turns into a massive panda, and it's a whole thing.
What?
And
Say that again.
when she starts her period, she
Right.
turns into a giant red panda.
Okay,
It's a
thank
curse on her
I
family.
just wasn't sure if that's what you said. I wanted to make sure.
It's literally the film. And then it's just a kind of coming of age story. She's just, has a
Does
bit
she
of
get superpowers?
No, she turns into a giant red panda. I mean, if you class that as a superpower, I guess.
I don't know.
But it was just a good film. It's genuinely a very good film. Very nice, very wholesome, great kids film, and it's got a strong message. Respect.
I'm assuming this is on Disney Plus.
That is on Disney Plus. If you want to watch it, I would recommend it. Chip and Dale came out. You didn't watch it. It is the modern day Roger Rabbit. It's good. It's not great. It is good. It doesn't quite live up to the magic of Roger Rabbit, but what it attempts to do is so fucking good, and it does. It does lean into that. There are so many surprises and so many like nice little Easter eggs and cameos of things that you'd be like, wait, what the, like, why is that in a Disney movie?
So they got their hands on some stuff. You're like, oh,
yeah, they got some hands on some crazy IPs. Have you seen the trailer for it or anything?
I saw the trailer once.
Have you seen who the villain is?
No.
the villain is.
Do you want to? Because I might watch it if it's on Disney Plus.
Are you going to? Or are you
If it's on Disney
Are you
Plus,
going
I'll-
to just say you're going to watch it and then you're never going to
No,
watch it?
because I can put it on one night. It's like
It's in the trailer. So if you ever watch the trailer, you'd see who the villain is.
I just won't watch the trailer. I'll just watch the movie.
It's good then. I won't say it. Do you know who the trailer is? Do you know the trailer? Do you know who the villain
Do
is?
you know who the trailer is?
Could you say that into the microphone for
I don't
us?
remember.
Well, you have a microphone in your hand. You're the audio guy.
Watch Chip and Dale and then let me know your thoughts.
Okay.
It's got some solidly good gags. It's got some like hilarious Easter eggs. And the story's enjoyable. Like overall it's just an enjoyable film. As far as kids films go, it was nice to see them put something out there that is like fully pushing the boat out and not sticking to the kind of safe, well-trodden ground that they know of.
Yeah.
Gripes I had with it, the audio performances don't hold up to snuff, and that's because they were obviously recording during COVID.
Okay. So
So it's not the performances are bad, but there is a lack of dynamicism between actors, and like well-trained, very good voice actors will know how to kind of inflect off of someone else's performance. And I don't know where it's fallen down, but there's just moments in the movie where you're like, these are two people reading their scripts and delivering their lines with no crossover.
Yeah.
And it
one's in a garage and one's like in
it's
a
like
cupboard
they
somewhere.
sound great, but they just aren't bouncing off each other, and it's very glaring. It's a good film though. I enjoyed that. So as far as kids films go, I'd say they're the two to get on from
but
me.
What about Lightyear?
That's on my bad list. It's on my bad list. It was if straight up one of the ones I was going to talk about. If we're going to talk about bad kids films, Lightyear was brutal. We spoke about this over pints recently.
Yeah.
How that first trailer came out, David Bowie, there's a star man. And it was faded out. It was fucking awesome. And it was like an interstellar rainbow and a spaceship going off through space time.
And like, we're going to go on an adventure.
And I was like, holy fuck, this looks like they're really putting time and effort into this.
And they got Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. Then it was like, and people got all caught up. Like, what is this? Is this a movie set in the movie? Is it an actual space? And then it released, and it was just generic.
It was weird.
It's odd.
Because I'd seen that trailer you're talking about, and I was like, all right, cool,
Fucking
Lightyear.
great trailer.
Great trailer. And I'm like, I'll wait for that to come out at some point. Like, I'm not an animated guy.
Yeah.
I don't really care about Pixar. I was unwell one day, and I thought, oh, fuck it, I'll chuck this on. I was like, I've got an idea what this is going to be. It's going to be an adventure. We're going to go from planet to planet. We're going to have our cookie cast of characters. There's going to be a couple of aliens. Oh, a sticky one sticks to my face. Ah, nope. It's a weird, introspective, sad, like going like time is
not your friend; it's
time,
your enemy.
and you're all going to die.
Everyone you love will die, and you will be alone for the rest of your life.
And I was just like, fucking.
hey, kids. Also, remember Zurg? Remember in Toy Story 2 when Zurg comes out and Buzz Lightyear makes a joke like, hey, it's my dad. And you think, oh, it's a Star Wars reference. Well, we now know the truth. Zurg is actually an old Buzz Lightyear sent back through space-time to stop himself diverging from the path that allows him to go back in time to stop himself being trapped in a time loop. Oh, it goes all interstellar madness. It's a kids' film, Disney. What are you doing?
It was bizarre.
Even in the universe of like Toy Story, that is also a kids film because they make all those kids toys for the Buzz Lightyear toys.
For Andy, yes. Andy went to see that.
Weird.
I couldn't imagine if you had made me go and watch that movie as a kid at Andy's age, what, like 8 in the first
10,
Toy
yeah.
Story?
Yeah,
10?
10.
I wouldn't have not been. I would have been very confused.
Yeah, because you were saying that we're like, this is the movie that made Andy fall in love with Buzz Lightyear. Like, if I'm a kid and I come with that, I'd be like, what the fuck was that, Mum? What the fuck did I just say? I don't understand
Why
time
Mum,
wave loops.
Why do I have this little black part of my soul now?
Are you
just
going?
feels hollow and sad all
Is
the time?
time going to take you from me, Mum? Turns out, yes. Time will take her from me.
So yeah, there's our animated spot.
I think some big hitters that I just want to throw out there would be The Batman. We're not going to talk about The Batman, but The Batman was a great movie last year.
It was a great film.
I had a great time with that. What's the other one?
It was all right.
You're dumb. I liked Elvis, but I like Baz Luhrmann. The performance that Austin Butler does, I think, is outstanding, and it looks pretty, and I like the songs.
My favorite thing Baz Luhrmann has ever done is the song "Everybody Should Wear Sunscreen." Or is that Laz Berman? Wait,
I don't know if Laz Berman is a real person.
who wrote the song "Everyone Needs to Wear Sunscreen"?
I've never heard of it.
What?
Oh, you've done this before, and it's not Baz Luhrmann; it's someone else. Because we've talked about this before.
Leonard Bernstein.
Baz Luhrmann? Fuck you.
I don't think it's the same Baz Luhrmann.
It's how many Gavin? How many Baz Luhrmanns do you think there are out in the world? That's a unique name.
Minimum 2.
Maniac.
I want to throw out Crimes of the Future. It's a weird
Cronenberg.
fucking Cronenberg movie that I really enjoyed.
Viggo Mortensen.
Also want to throw out Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a fucking slapper. You know what that film stonks?
What?
Stonks, mate.
Big stonks.
Stonkers.
How many stonks?
That's got at least 2 stonks.
At least 2
One
stonks.
per tail.
Jesus Christ.
It's good.
You've not seen it, but I also want to throw out The Banshees of Inisherin.
That's on my soon-to-be watched film.
It is a beautiful introspective exploration of friendship and time, and I thought it was very, very poignant, very beautiful.
Nope. I was gonna check out there. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I didn't see Nope.
Did you not? It's great. I thought it was very good. Jordan Peele's latest in his horror anthology. It's not even an anthology. His horror series. He just smashed it out of the park. A lot of people weren't as keen on this one, but I personally think it might be his strongest one. After watching it and talking about it and rewatching it, I fell in love with it. I thought it was brilliant.
I'll see it hopefully soon.
I think you'll like it. The other one I wanted to talk about very quickly, I should have talked about it more, but we kind of did horror movies elsewhere. Barbarian was fucking incredible. If you haven't seen Barbarian and you're a horror fan, please go watch that movie. You can now get it on Disney Plus, I'm sure. And it is where I've said this a couple of times, where a lot of films nowadays are like leaning towards trying to give you that soft fright that makes you not want to sleep with the door open at night, and coming away from jump frights, or conversely, the other subset of horror films are just none of this is scary, but you will get a few jumps. They're the two kind of horror films we have. Barbarian is a fucking perfect in between, and it has some of the most horrifying, stomach churning moments that gives you the heaves, and it's fucking great. It's just a fucking great movie. It's got gore, it's got frights, it's got slow drawn out elements, it's got everything the horror movie should have.
My favorite movie was Barbarian of last year.
Oh,
my favorite
My favorite
movie.
Let's talk about it then.
I was waiting for you to stop.
I'm so sorry.
My favorite movie of 2022 was Barbarian.
Fuck yes.
But that's just because I'm a horror kid.
I'm so sorry.
I
feel
grew
bad now.
No, it's fine. I grew up on Action Schlock, and then when I wasn't watching that, I wanted to torture my little weak soul with horror.
Yeah.
I'm a weak-souled little bitch. That was going to be my name for this week. I'm the weak-souled little bitch, Gavin Stewart. But Barbarian, I'm so sad I missed it in the cinema. Yeah. Life, as you've talked about, was just a lot this year, or last year. This year as well. But Barbarian was fucking outstanding.
Yeah.
I like when it comes to horror movies, it's like you say, there's it's an easy scare, or it's just like
creeping dread.
Yeah, whereas Barbarian's a beautiful balance of the start of that movie is slow, it's tense.
You don't know who the villain is. You don't know like this is very mild spoilers for the beginning of Barbarian, but you meet Alexander Skarsgård. And who's the actress? Is it Bill Skarsgård?
Bill Skarsgård.
Who's the actress in it as well? That's
her from All My Friends Hate Me, which is a real good movie. That also came out last year.
Another one I missed.
Another one you missed. It is
lots of good horror movies last year.
Georgina
None
Campbell.
of which you saw.
Georgina Campbell.
I missed a lot.
But you're watching it and you don't know who the villain is, what the monster is. And I went into that film as blind as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And you're sitting through the opening and you're kind of like, is it Bill Skarsgård, or is this gonna be like a double fake and she's faking him out, and maybe she's maybe that's the
twist.
The big twist. She's gonna be the villain, and you reach the end of the first act, and it's a fucking great first act, and then bam, the movie just shifts, and I don't want to say anything else. I'm not going
to say too much.
Yeah, because it's if you have Disney Plus, or even if you don't, get a free trial easily, because that film fucks your expectations time and time and time again, and it's incredible.
It's dark outside a lot these days, so close your curtains over, turn your lights off, put that movie on. I watched it alone in the dark. I don't really get scared by movies anymore, but that one had me on edge the whole fucking time because of the way it goes and what you know and what's underneath and what's going on. And as it kept shifting and changing, I would readjust my seat and I'd sit up and here we fucking go. Okay, what are we doing here? What's going on? I paused to go to the toilet and I'm just all right, so what is happening? What are we doing? And then I just got so engaged with it. And I think it's a film we're going to talk about again later on when more people have hopefully seen it. because there's so much to talk about how well it's made, about how well
Shot
it paced.
incredibly.
Looks
Pacing's incredible.
Yeah, and it has little choices that between first act and second act that just are so brilliant,
Yeah.
but so understated.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't stop thinking about that film, and when Audio Boy
Weeks
came
after,
home,
I was the same. I wanted to speak to everyone about it. It was so good.
it was one of the few films that I saw last year that when Audio Boy came home and he thought, "Oh, what do you think of Barbarian?" I just talked for like half an hour. I was so excited to talk about it because it was something worth talking about, which I can't say for a lot of the films, because if you noticed through this episode, we talked about a lot of stuff that hadn't come out because there was a lot of shite last year, and there was also a lot that we missed last year.
Yeah.
But Barbarian was one of those films that was needed to be talked about because
I said this to
brilliant.
Caboose. So a couple years back, and I think we talked about it in a few episodes way back when, we were doing a 100 movie challenge where we were going to try and see 100 films throughout the year. And it did mean, it's kind of like a catch-22 because it meant that we lost a lot of weekend and a lot of time in the cinema. But I saw movies I would have never normally picked, and I had a really good experience because I would just go in to see films just to kind of tally up, get to the 100. And I surprised myself. I would go and see a film about like World War, which I don't do World War films, I do gangster films, and I had to go and see a couple of them, and I was like, holy fuck, these films are really good. And it was a nice experience. And I'm not doing that this year, and I'm kind of like, maybe I need to do 50. I think I might need to set myself a 50 checklist to get me out of the house, to force myself to cinema, because I feel like I'm missing some real, you've been going loads, Phil.
Yeah, I've been going to GFT a lot, and there's been some real good stuff. I'd recommend the movie Hatching if you can find it anywhere.
Nice.
Real weird, fun movie.
We should also I think we have to talk about, because my friend Thomas was talking about the movie The Menu, because he absolutely loved,
it's fucking, I
he
watched that
loved
recently.
The Menu, and The Menu's great.
It's a very good film.
It's, when you look at the trailer, you're like, oh, I've got what this is going to be.
Oh,
and
you
it's
don't.
not.
You
And
do
it's
not.
so great. The performance is great. The writing is so good. And it just goes to a place you're like, fucking hell, this is mental.
That's a solidly good film. But my favorite movie of last year.
Yes.
And if you have listened this far, you maybe have
We
an
all
idea at
know
this
what it's
point.
gonna be.
It's had to be, right? It's
because
just been-
even though Barbarian is my favorite movie of the year, this movie is still probably
it's
also
been
my favorite
slated,
movie.
It's now what's been nominated for
11 Oscars.
11 Oscar nominations. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
It was fucking incredible.
I think even
The best.
I think when it comes
I
to
would say so.
everything everywhere all at once, which God, I'm going to definitely mess up saying
We
that.
can call it EEAO if you want.
No, it's even more difficult. I think whatever your favorite movie is, I think just in general, that is the movie of the year for everyone, because
Yeah.
everyone
who saw it, I know, thoroughly enjoyed it.
everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
The minute since that movie came out, what, March, February time?
I think so.
Like,
So
it
it's
came
early
out-
in the year.
April.
April. So it came out the first half of the year, and it's still month after month
Permeating the
people
social-
just kept talking about
Yeah.
it. It kept coming up. People would discover it months later, being like, "Holy fuck! How did I not know about this?" And then when the award season came along, boom, tons of nominations, tons of wins. Everyone's just talking about it, and it's because it's fucking outstanding.
It's incredible.
Amazing.
It also, what I loved as well, the people were kind of like, there was this rhetoric going around, which is, oh God, multiverse. Why is everything going to be a multiverse nowadays? And people weren't wrong, because the superhero multiverse was getting
I'm already over it.
real shallow.
It's only just begun. I'm already
So
done.
somebody was bringing out a multiverse movie, and there was this whole, oh God, a multiverse film. And then they came out and they did the multiverse incredibly fucking well.
Yeah, they did it in a really digestible, meaningful, poignant, funny way.
Yeah,
Like-
there's some of the fact that I cried during that film, which
Oh.
isn't a surprise for anyone that may be listening to this. It's a very expected thing. But the fact I cried 3 times, and one of those times was when 2 rocks
Yes.
weren't talking while I was reading text over 2 rocks slowly shuffling around the screen. That says everything, surely.
I feel like that movie has everything in it. Like, it's got some great martial arts fight scenes. It's got some of the funniest stuff you'll see.
Yeah.
It's got some of the most heartfelt stuff you'll see, and it's
Some
just got some of
wacky
the
hot
most
dog from the
memorable
universe
stuff you'll
shit.
ever see. Yeah.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis as well, fucking smashing out a solidly good performance.
And it's beautiful to see Michelle Yeoh, an actress I've been following since she was working in China with like Jackie Chan and stuff. Like, to see her at the point now where everyone's just like, "Oh, Michelle Yeoh," like, "Yeah, we all knew.
Yeah,
where the
like,
fuck have you been? You've been
Everyone-
sleeping on
why are
Michelle
you sleeping on
Yeoh."
Michelle Yeoh? And to bring back Short Round for his round 2 in Hollywood.
How's it you pronounce his
Ki Hui Kwan.
Ki Hui Ha? What?
Ki
Ki
Hui
Kwe
There's no
Ki Hui Huan.
starts with a H. Hui.
Ki Hui
Huan.
Ki Hui Huan.
Ki Hui Huan.
Also known
There
as
you go.
Short Round from Indiana Jones 2, The Temple of Doom.
Or Radar.
Well, no, Data.
Data from the
You
Goonies.
fucking idiot.
Radar's
You
from
moron.
MASH, I think.
He was
Radar's from Star Trek. He's blind.
Oh, yeah.
so much. I also found out that Ki Hui Wan was the second stunt coordinator on the first X-Men movie.
Oh, that's cool as shit.
Yeah, so you can watch. There's behind the scenes stuff of him teaching Hugh Jackman how to do some of the
How
fights.
to do a flip.
Yeah,
Does Hugh Jackman do a flip in the behind the scenes stuff?
no,
Oh,
but it's just like some of the martial arty stuff he has to do.
but no flips.
No flips.
Oh. Anyway, guys, that was the. I'm really sorry because that was a really good episode. Kind of ruined by Gav's crap story at the end there, I guess.
We're not done talking about everything everywhere all at once. I don't feel.
No, yeah, everything everywhere all at once. It was just incredible. I actually kind of feel like I am done. I don't know what else to say other than I fucking loved that film. It was everything I could want in a movie.
It was perhaps everything everywhere
It was everything everywhere all at once.
all at once.
It had some of the best cinematography I've seen. The scene where she's like the villain, the daughter, the evil daughter, is flicking through universes, and she like tilts her head 3 times that way, and then goes the other way before settling on. And it's kind of like she's dialing on a radio or an old timey TV. That's what a 10-second, 15-second half of a scene, and it's just perfect.
I think for me, one of the multiverse moments that I just like, the thought that went into this is incredible, is when they're trapped inside the safe and they've got all the kind of villains outside, and she goes through different universes to learn the most obscure, weird little skills, so that when she comes out of the safe, she can use these bizarre things. You're like, how is any of this gonna help in this situation? And then the way it works to beat all of the bad guys in different little ways, you're just like, this is so well thought out.
It's just brilliant. It's a great film. If you haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once by this point in the year, please just search it out. Pay for it if you have to, because it's absolutely worth it.
I think it's on Prime at this point.
It's worth every penny of your money.
It's also
fantastic.
It's kind of funny that it came out the same year as another movie that was titled Multiverse of Madness, and this everywhere, everything, everywhere. Yep, there it goes. It happened. Is
EEAO.
EEAO. Yeah, that's
It's not
a
that
System of a Down song.
Look, think of Old MacDonald's Farm.
Old MacDonald had a farm. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
EEAO. Oh, fuck.
But that's an actual like multiverse of madness, and it makes it really easy to understand. It's not difficult to follow, and it's fun to follow.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great film. It's the best film of 2022. Alongside Barbarian. I'll give you, absolutely. We've both picked winners.
Yeah.
Phil, what was your best film of 2022?
It was also Everything Everywhere at Once. Of course it was.
How many times did you see that in the cinema, my
It
dear?
was either 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
I need to show you my bedroom after this, by the way.
Well, that's
This
an
is
interesting.
related.
I think that's
oh
what we-
boy.
Yeah.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap up this episode so I can get into Phil's bed. Thank you so much for listening. Like we said at the beginning of this episode, if it gets kept in, I mean, it's going to have to now because I'm referencing it. Sorry, Gav. We are making a big effort on social media. We're on Twitter at MeanderingPod. So please send us a tweet. Go look at the tweets we've been farting out.
You've definitely been farting some shit out.
It's been good. My tweets are doing better than your tweets.
Yeah, but because your tweets are.
Yeah, but I don't understand how to be in the social
I think as we learned earlier, I'm not good at social media or talking. I said put a like in the description. So,
Big love, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you soon.
Bye!
Hopefully.
Music is life.
You can't. You're not allowed to say that anymore.
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So won't you lend an ear?